the pen and take one step closer, dear.
So I want to ask you guys specifically about your approach to writing lyrics. You've hinted at the fact that it's a little bit of a collaborative process. And we talk to a lot of hardcore bands where lyrics are largely influenced by an ethos or a personal philosophy. And so we always like to ask about whether or not your approach to lyrics is more literal or metaphorical, or if injecting some kind of textual meaning into the songs matters to you at all.
For me, I find it a lot easier to sing and relate to the songs when they are personal to me. So the Subservient EP, that was very much a time I was going through in my life that was not good for me, and I needed to get that out in some way, and that was in the form of the EP. So that was very much like something I was actually going through. Now I'm not so sad, which is not so good for the lyric writing. I have no personal experience to bring to the songs. So 303 was written about, this sounds so stupid, written about my favourite anime. So that's what that one's written about. And that was actually really fun to write. I remember...
It was for you.
Pardon?
It was for you. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Oh, yeah. I turned up at Will's and I was like, this is what the song's going to be about. I hear it. I kind of know what I want to say. Like, this is what we're doing. And he was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never seen that anime in my life. Trying to explain it to him and like write this song. And he was like, I can't relate to it, but I can like help with like different words and replacing different like lines with other bits that sound better. And we sort of made that work. But then I've kind of gone back to, with the stuff that we're writing at the moment, we've gone back to personal experience or like how I'm feeling at the moment. So in terms of like obviously with the current pandemic and stuff, people losing their jobs and things like that, and thinking like, but why should I have to just get another job and work, like wake up every morning, go to work, come home, have my tea, have a bath, go to bed, repeat the next day? That is just, I don't want to do that. I want to make music my thing. And so yeah, the new stuff is generally, again, more personal in terms of where my head's at. I definitely find it a lot easier to relate to lyric writing if it is from personal experience.
Yeah. Even if that personal experience is conceptual as well, like the first track that me and Alfie really wrote really collaboratively was Reverie, the single that came after Subservient. And that's personal, but it's personal and conceptual. So that was a lot easier for me to delve into and relate to, because obviously when it's either completely conceptual like 303 and about something that I have no idea what the concept's about, that was difficult. So for me, primarily on that, it was just, as Alfie said, help. It's good because obviously me and Joe wrote the instrumental. I can be that link between what we've written instrumentally and then displaying the structure to Alfie and making sure that she knows where we were thinking things should go. Especially things like note choices I can help with, but lyric writing usually is the thesaurus on here, looking for different words.
You're like, this is what I want to say, but I don't want to use this word. I don't like this word, or it doesn't fit in the syllables that I'm trying to sing. Be like, right, bring the thesaurus up. And then we'd go through this big long list and be like, I like that word better. Doesn't really mean the same thing, but that one, I like how that sounds, and like replacing them. But yeah, I think Reverie was definitely, again, personal, but definitely embellished. Like, yeah. Definitely embellished to be a little bit further from the truth than reality. So I feel like that's important. I think if it is too like explained, if you're listening to the song, you might not relate to it. I feel like keeping it open and embellishing it so much that it's not so true means that it is more relatable.
I think that's one thing that me and Alfie have been working on, is like making sure that, for one, we're not writing too much, and that the things that we're writing can connect to people in different ways. Because if it is too literal, then you're sort of limiting the way it can be connected with. And I think for us, obviously, we have our own meaning for it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that meaning is concrete, and it can be interpreted however you want. So if you hear fucking 303s about cats and dogs and whatever else, then go ahead. I'm not too bothered. But yeah, not being too literal, but also having sort of a main focus is something we've been working on.